You're the most loved son in the galaxy. Your dad built 20 superhuman sons, and out of all of them, he picked you. Best general, best fighter, best everything. And one day you look at this man who gave you the universe and decide to kill him. Spoiler, it goes badly. You're Horus Lupercal, and this is the worst decision anyone has ever made. Let's start at the top. Your dad is the Emperor of Mankind, a 40,000-year-old psychic super being who wants to unite every human world in the galaxy. To do it, he needs generals. So he grows 20 of them in a lab under a mountain on Terra. That's Earth, by the way. These 20 sons are called Primarchs. Each one is a one-man army who can rip a tank apart with his hands. You're one of the tubes. Congratulations, you're a science project. But before you're even finished growing, something reaches into that sealed lab and steals all 20 babies. That something is the Chaos Gods, 4 enormous beings that live in the warp. A screaming dimension made out of raw emotion that sits underneath reality. They fling you across the galaxy like skipping stones. Your pod crash lands on Cthonia, a planet so used up and strip-mined that the only thing left is gangs murdering each other in the tunnels. Home sweet home. A gang boss called Kageddon digs you out. He takes one look at the future ruler of mankind and names you Nergui, which means no name. So your first ever title is, essentially, yeah, whatever. You grow up fighting in the dark, learning exactly one skill: violence. Then one day you stumble onto your own crash pod, being dug up by robed cyborg priests called the Mechanicum. You panic, kill one, steal his gun, and sprint home. The robots follow. The tunnel caves in, the whole gang is getting crushed, and dying Kageddon grabs you and says, "Kill me, that's how you earn your real name." So you do. You put down the only father you've ever known, and the instant you do, everything floods back. The lab, the stars, who you actually are. Your body surges and grows, the priests break through, expecting a gang kid, and find a demigod standing over a corpse who simply says, "I'm Horus." They bring you to Terra and you meet your dad. And it just clicks. You're the very first Primarch he ever finds. So for 30 straight years, it's only the two of you conquering the galaxy side by side. No brothers yet, just dad and his favorite. And you turn out to be unbelievably good at war. Not strong good, smart good. You always know which army to send and exactly where. Battles that should take years, you win in an afternoon. But your real gift is people. You read someone in seconds and figure out precisely what makes them tick. Whole planets surrender to you without a single shot. You just talk to them. Everyone trusts you. You're the brother everyone wishes they had. Then your dad starts finding the other 19 Primarchs. Each one runs their own legion, thousands of space marines, 8-foot super soldiers built from the same gene stock as their Primarch. And every brother looks up to you. You stay number one. The first one you meet is Leman Russ, basically a Viking who turns into a wolf when he's annoyed. You smile, you bond, you play nice. But somewhere deep down, a tiny splinter of jealousy slides in. Hold that thought. Then comes the biggest win of the entire war. At a planet called Ulanor, you and your brothers crush the largest orc empire ever recorded. Orcs being giant green idiots who exist purely to fight. 100,000 space marines. 8 million regular soldiers. Total domination. Your dad is so proud he holds a galaxy-sized parade and gives you a brand new title, Warmaster. Meaning every army and every Primarch now answers to you. You're second only to the Emperor himself, the promotion of a lifetime. And then, right at your highest point, your dad pulls you aside and says he's going back to Terra to work on a secret project. He won't say what it is. He won't say how long. He just hands you the entire war and walks away. And it stings. You're out here bleeding in the field, winning his galaxy, and he vanishes into a locked room to do something he won't even describe to his favorite son. For the first time, you feel like a tool instead of a child. It gets worse. Your dad sets up the Council of Terra, a committee of normal human bureaucrats, and puts them in charge of running the Imperium. So now you, a literal demigod, are taking orders from accountants. The resentment quietly starts to cook. Now meet the snakes. One of your brothers, Lorgar, runs the Word-Bearers, a legion of fanatics obsessed with worship. The Emperor publicly humiliated them for it. They never forgave him. And secretly, quietly, they've started worshiping the Chaos Gods instead. Lorgar's plan is to corrupt you. So he plants his nastiest priest, Erebus, right at your side. Erebus's entire job is to stand near you and drip poison into your ear day after day, year after year. Doesn't your father seem ungrateful? Don't you deserve more? They also quietly set up warrior lodges, secret little brotherhoods inside the legions. Sounds like a book club. It's a cult. It's grooming an army to switch sides without anyone noticing. Then it all snaps shut. On a moon near the world of Davin, a chaos-corrupted traitor stabs you with the anatheme, a cursed alien blade, and the wound will not close. Your best doctors throw everything they have at it. Nothing works. You're dying. And Erebus, right on cue, says, "I know a place, a lodge on the moon, they can heal you." It's a chaos cult, obviously, but you're unconscious and dying, so nobody stops to ask questions. They drag your soul out of your body and into the warp itself. And waiting there, the Chaos Gods have prepared a presentation just for you. They show you the future. A future where humanity worships your dad as a literal god, and the Primarchs, all 20 of you, get thrown aside the moment you're no longer useful. It's a lie. But it's stitched together with just enough truth that you can't tell where one ends and the other begins. Your brother Magnus, a one-eyed psychic sorcerer, forces his way into the vision, screaming that it's a trap. But you're wounded, you're bitter, and you've been marinating in Erebus's whispers for years. You don't listen. Then the Chaos Gods make their offer. "Give us the Emperor, and we will give you the galaxy." And you say yes. You said yes. The greatest hero mankind ever produced just agreed to murder his own father for a sales pitch from 4 demons. They heal you instantly and fill you with warp power. Now you've got a legion and a grudge, and step 1 is recruiting your brothers. And it's easy because your brothers have issues. Angron, a permanently furious berserker with chain axes for hands. Fulgrim, vain, obsessed with being flawless. Mortarion, a grim, scythe-wielding loner who hates authority. You push the right buttons. All 3 flip. Meanwhile, Magnus panics and tries to warn your dad the only way a sorcerer can, by hurling a psychic message straight across the galaxy. It works. It also smashes through every protective ward around your dad's secret project, the one thing he was hiding from everyone. And here's the cruel part. Your dad gets the warning and decides the traitor must be Magnus, the brother who tried to save him. So he sends Wolf Viking Russ to arrest him. And you, quietly from the side, convince Russ to skip arrest and just burn Magnus's home planet to ash instead. So one brother gets wiped out by the good guys for the crime of being right. You're barely getting started. Now the truly evil move. 4 legions follow you, but about a third of each is still loyal to your dad. Annoying. So you send all the loyal ones down to the planet Istvaan 3 for a routine mission. And then you drop virus bombs on them, on your own soldiers. The Life Eater virus does exactly what the name says. It dissolves every living thing it touches. You murder your loyal sons from orbit to clean out the doubters. 8 billion civilians lived on that planet too. They die in seconds. So many souls scream out at once that it briefly drowns out the Astronomicon, the giant psychic beacon every Imperial ship uses to navigate. That's the scale of what you just did. But a handful of loyalists survive and a brave captain steals a ship, the Eisenstein, and runs it all the way back to Terra to tell your dad the truth. His favorite son is the enemy. The secret's out. Now it's open war. Your dad's side rushes 7 legions to the next planet, Istvaan 5 to stop you. The first 3 charge in and start winning, then 4 more reinforcement legions land behind them. And those 4 open fire on the good guys. Because surprise, they secretly work for you. It's the biggest betrayal in galactic history. Thousands of soldiers welcomed their reinforcements and got shot in the back instead. In the chaos, your brother Ferrus Manus, the one with living metal hands, gets beheaded by vain little Fulgrim. You'll have complicated feelings about that one later. When the smoke clears, you stand on a mountain of corpses and have a giant eye burned into the planet's surface as your symbol, the Eye of Horus. Everyone chants your name. You are now officially the most powerful being in the galaxy. Next stop, Terra. But you're smart about it. You send your loyal brothers off on fake missions and traps, scattering them across the galaxy so none of them can reach home in time. You leave Terra completely alone. Then you bring your entire war machine down on it. This is the Siege of Terra. Thousands of warships, millions of troops, demon-possessed war machines the size of skyscrapers. You land all of it on mankind's birthplace and start tearing down the gates of your dad's palace. Holding the wall is Sanguinius, a Primarch with actual wings, the kindest and most beloved of all your brothers. He's also your closest friend in the entire family. 3 times your forces scale the walls. 3 times he throws them off. After weeks of grinding, you get word that loyal reinforcements are almost here. You're running out of time. So you do something unhinged. You switch off your own flagship's shields and dare your dad to come fight you face to face. Your dad takes the bait. He teleports aboard with Sanguinius, your brother Rogel Dorn, and his golden bodyguards. You use your warp powers to scatter them across the ship. And the first one to find you is the angel, Sanguinius, your best friend. You offer him a place at your side one last time. He refuses. So you kill him. You murder the gentlest brother you have, the one who trusted you most, and you feel nothing at all. That's how little of you is left. And then your dad walks in. He sees the angel dead at your feet. Father and favorite son in a quiet room at the end of the galaxy's worst war. This is the moment everything was built toward. And you win. You break your dad apart, crack his armor, take an eye, snap his spine over your knee. A being older than civilization, broken on the floor by his own boy. One nobody, a single ordinary man, steps between you and your dying father to shield him. Without even turning your head, you flay him alive. And that, somehow, is the thing that breaks the spell. Because watching that casual cruelty, your dad finally accepts the truth. His favorite son is gone, and nothing's coming back. So for the first time, he stops holding back and unleashes his full power on you. The blast tears straight through you, and in the very last second, the warp's grip slips, and for one heartbeat, you're just Horus again. The golden boy. You look at your father and you cry, and you beg him to finish it before the darkness takes you back. So he does. And he doesn't just kill you, he burns your soul out of existence, body, and spirit, so the chaos gods can never drag you back. The most loved son in the galaxy, erased. Like you never existed at all. And that's the whole story. Your grand plan to rule everything ended with you sobbing on the floor of a spaceship, deleted by the man you betrayed. Greatest hero, worst decision, nothing left behind. Your dad technically wins, but it costs him everything. He's so destroyed that he gets wired into the Golden Throne, a colossal life support machine where he's been sitting half dead for 10,000 years, holding the galaxy together by sheer will. All because of you. And your loyalists? They snatch your corpse, flee into the warp, and one of your old captains, Istvaan, takes your gear, paints his army black, and spends the next 10,000 years trying to finish what you couldn't. So that's how the brightest son alive threw it all away over jealousy and a bad influence. But here's the thing. You weren't the only brother who turned traitor. One of them rotted into a walking plague machine who genuinely believes decay is a blessing. Another's a one-eyed sorcerer betrayed by everyone he ever trusted. Whose story is dumber? You get to decide. The Emperor protects, the Warmaster betrayed, and there are still 18 more to go. See you in the next one.